Arizona Revised Statutes 33-440 provides by Arizona law the civil enforceability of private conditions, covenants, and restrictions for properties in Arizona. I got this from the MCA. It is currently on their website. This is the calendar of recorded restrictions from the MCA. I'm going to go to page 2. Refer back to this if you wish. I don't want to beat this to death, but it's important. This is what they call Unit 15, which is Meadview Valley Unit 1. This shows the books and the page numbers and the dates of the officially recorded CC&Rs at the Mohave County Recorder's Office. Please go down to the recorder's office and check your CCRs. Do not trust the MCA. As I'm going to demonstrate, they fudge them. They change the restrictions as they transfer a property, and they pass them off as the real ones. I'll get back to that, but let's stick with this. Book 116, page 254, is for Tract 1193. The properties, the owners of which I'm suing for violations of the CC&Rs, are in Tract 1194. So this one does not apply. But the 1973 versions for September 1973, page 1 through 11, in Book 150 do apply. That's what you'll be seeing next. Let me make a correction there. They no longer apply, but they did in 1973. These will be superseded later on, but let me show you them first. This is the from the Mohave County Recorder's Office. This is for Tract 1194. This is on legal length page, so pardon the sliding. But this is these were the restrictions that were there in 1973. These are no longer valid, as you'll see later. They've been superseded twice by revisions. Now, the reason they could supersede these was because one company called Landex, I don't know if you can see that, Landex owned virtually every lot here. So they had the 2/3 majority of ownership of lots required to change them. These things require a vote in person at a meeting in order to change them. So Landex, because they owned all the lots, because they hadn't been sold yet in 1973, they could change these things as they wishes. They were their lots and they could put restrictions on them. This is page 4 from Book 150. And I'm just talking about camping, because that's all I'm going to discuss today. Camping, it basically says no camping, no tents. You can't live in a garage, you can't live in a shack. But it does make an exemption for the owner, and that is critical, the owner, not guests. You can't be using campers as guest house. But the owner can come for 20 days in a stretch or 40 days total in a calendar year. This again is from 1973. January of 1988, those CC&Rs from 1973 were superseded by this document, Book 1390, pages 176, looks like to 198. Book 1390, page 176. Here's the attorney, Kathy L. Joseph. She is still in business down in Phoenix somewhere. This was obtained from the Mohave County Recorder's Office. This is the real deal. But you will find that this has been superseded too. I will demonstrate that later. But let's look at the camping language on this document from January 6, 1988. This language, again, this is Book 1390, page 184. The language of this camping statement, where is it, is identical, virtually identical, to the previous one from 1973. This is going to get superseded 2 months later. This is January of 1988. 2 months later, on March 2nd of 1988, this will be superseded, and I'll show you why. Again, from the MCA's website, or I got this in person, you'll see that March 2nd, 1988 is the final revision, the latest revision of these CC&Rs. March 2nd, Book 1404 at the County Recorder's Office, page 471. Same attorney, March 2nd, stamped officially by the County Recorder's Office. I'm going to go to the camping section now. In the latest and only enforceable CC&Rs for the properties in question, notice what has happened. Again, 2 months later, they went back and said, we don't want RV camping on these lots at any time, and that's what they say. They took out that exemption for RV camping, and it simply says, no camping shall be permitted at any time on any lots. 1404, page 479. Look it up yourself. Do not trust me. Certainly don't trust the MCA. When I started having trouble with my neighbors, loud parties, bunch of people, just RVs coming and going, people living in them, I went down to the MCA and said, hey, is this within the rules? So I went down to the MCA and I got the restrictions from March 2nd, 1988, docket 1404, page 472. Should be clear enough, but it's weird. They got a disclaimer on there that says, well, to the best of our knowledge, these are right, but you really should check with the MOHAVE County Recorder's Office. And they fudged these things. I'm going to prove it. I don't make these accusations lightly. But why would they put that disclaimer on there? Why don't they just go get the copy from the, I can handle it. Why don't they just go get the copy from the recorder's office and Xerox the correct copy? I'm going to show you why. Now, this was weird. In the table of contents from this first one I got, it goes to page 14, and you'll see I do have 14 pages. But 14 should go all the way to Article 8, specifically 8.14. But this version only goes to 3.20. There's page 13, and then 14 only has a little blurb on the back. And so I went back, and I said, what's the deal? I've got contents that go through 8.14. I've got 14 pages, because the original, the actual March 2, 1988 version does have 14 pages. Go get that. Where? At the MOHAVE County Recorder's Office. The real version, not this fake stuff. It has 14 pages, but it doesn't have the complete CC&Rs. So I went back and talked to the friendly helper behind the counter at the MCA, and I said, hey, I don't have all my pages. So then they came up with this little number. They got plenty. They got a CC&R for every situation. You'll notice the same docket number, same page, 2 March 1988, same title, same ridiculous disclaimer that is only going to prove that they knew they fudged it, and they wanted to have a little, hopefully they thought if anybody catches it, we'll say, oops, but I'm going to prove that they willfully and maliciously change it. And malice means reckless disregard for the truth. And that's what they're demonstrating, because I'm going to show you. I got this from the MCA after I went and said, why do you have 14 pages and you don't have the whole CC&R? I'm going to go to the camping section of this one. You'll notice this one has 12 pages, by the way, but it does indeed go all the way to 8.14. One thing I notice is that this has all been retyped. This is not the same typeface as the real March 2nd CC&R. These are real. You see, it's got stamped where they recorded it. It's not the same typeface. So they retyped this whole thing. Why would you retype all this stuff instead of just going and getting the real ones and then Xeroxing them? Well, the reason you retype them is so you can manipulate them and hand them off when property is transferred, hand them off, and the people, why would you think they would fudge these? Well, I'm going to show you. Here's the camping section, and I did not highlight this. This is highlighted as it was printed by the MCA. It's a very strong indication that they were manipulating this phase, or this paragraph, and here's why, or this section. Look at this odd language, which does not appear in any of the recorded copies of the previous or correct CC&Rs that were actually recorded officially. It doesn't say no camping at any time. No camping shall be permitted at any. They changed it. It's almost as if they cut and pasted no camping shall be permitted at any recreational vehicle upon any lots for not more than 20 days at any one time, etc. That language is so clumsy, and it's a double negative, which actually, if you read this literally, it means you have to camp for more than 20 days, which is ridiculous. Otherwise, you'd be in jail. This language does not appear in any previous copy. That proves that they willfully changed this. This is not a typographical error. They're trying to get, for whom, I don't know when or who changed this at the MCA, but it was changed supposedly to allow the 20-40 day RV living. This is the last page of that the same phony document from the MCA. You'll notice that they put the date of March 2nd, 1988 on this. But in the beginning of the same document, they've got 6 January 1988. They forgot to cover their tracks. This is still on their website as I speak. On the website, however, this has changed from the numeral 6 TH to SIX TH. I got this in physical form from the MCA. On the website now, this 6th of January, they've changed this to SIX TH. This is another change, and again, they left it highlighted. I don't know why. And this really does not matter for my lawsuits. This is about annexation, and it does not apply. But this is not the language of either the March 2nd document or the January 6th document. This absolutely came out of the MCA. It was never recorded officially with the county. Back to the official March 2nd document. You see the book and page number here. In order to amend these CC&Rs, it says you need 66 2/3 of the lots, of the owners of the lots, or their proxies, in person. Look this up yourself. These will never be changed again. They were able to change these back in the day because virtually all the lots were still under the ownership of Landex Corporation. So they could make the decisions they wanted because they were the owners of virtually all the lots. So they could change these things, but now, being that these lots have been sold off to so many people, you're never going to change these again. You're never going to get 66% of the people to come in person and vote to change these. Back to Arizona Revised Statute 33-440 that demonstrates or provides for the enforceability. There are two ways that these CC&Rs can be enforced. The MCA has the right to enforce them, and the owner, and any owner can enforce them. So the MCA is obviously not going to. Apparently, the MCA wants this place to look like trash. That's the only thing I can think of. Is they're not enforcing anything, and they're not looking around. They're not enforcing anything. The only enforcement left to me, if I don't want to live in an RV park, is for me to sue my neighbors. And it's not fun. I'm not enjoying it. It's a real pain, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to win. But I suggest strongly, if you're thinking of buying property in Meadview, or you have property in Meadview, go to the county recorder's office. It's down there, right where the interstate intersects with Beale Street. It's right down there with the sheriff's office and the new building. It's not hard to find. You can Google it. Go down there, get the correct CC&Rs, because as I've proven, the MCA fudges them. I do not know why. It's as if they want this place to look like trash. And it makes me sad and sorry that I got to sue my neighbors in order to get the CC&Rs enforced. Thank you for listening.